Welcome to Business Women Australia's radio show, proud station sponsor. I'm Sally Barker. Each week, I'll be talking with a leading member of BWA. These inspiring business leaders are very generous in sharing their stories and insights and expertise with us. On the show today, we'll be talking with company directors Jennifer Bryant and Lyn Hawkins. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning,
Good morning, Sally.
Now, today we're talking about brands, personal brands, and credibility. Now, personal branding, I don't like to say buzzword, but it is sort of a buzz thing at the moment, isn't it? Although, as you mentioned off air, Lyn, it has been around for quite some time, but the importance of it has really come into the spotlight recently. So how important is it for us to create a personal brand?
Well, it's actually the only thing you can do if you want to be a successful leader in your business. You have to have that vision that you are a personal brand. Like it's your walk and your talk. So if you want to be that successful business owner and entrepreneur and a person that is recognised by the way you dress and speak and behave, then it all encompasses that personal brand. So getting that personal brand together and then massaging it and polishing it so that it's recognisable no matter where you go. So even if you're in the street in a tracksuit, you still look like that personal brand is exuding.
Please don't tell me you're going to go down in a tracksuit.
No, but did you see? No, but it is some of look, I promise you, if you go to an image consultant, they will say, no, this is your brand when you're in front of people, this is your brand when you're in an office environment, this is your brand when you're doing your exercise. It all flows. So for me, that's the lesson I've learnt in life, is that you need to have a personal brand that flows no matter which area of life you're acting out, that it portrays that same image. People become very happy with that because, they don't say, oh, did you see her in the shops? Like, oh, my God. And then when she's in the office, she looks so glamorous. That's my gift to the world, is that I try and keep myself in alignment no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing. And she's going to laugh at me because she knows it's true, right?
Yeah, I know that when I wore my Uggies down to the doctor's surgery to take Mum down the other day, I thought, I hope Jen doesn't see me.
You did not.
I
had an image consultant tell me that I could not. There is no chance. I never ever want to see you pick your children up in activewear from school. I was like, really? I need to. I'm going to wear my activewear to pick them up from school. But yeah, okay.
No Uggs allowed.
No Uggs allowed.
Not
okay.
outside the house, sweetie.
So let's talk about creating our own personal brand. What is the first step?
Look, first step is to actually get someone to identify what it is that you want to portray. So I want to be seen as a speaker, a professional speaker, a basketball coach of some notoriety. In other words, I want to coach the Australian team. I want to be seen as, and this is what you sit down and talk to your consultant about, your image consultant. We have image consultants in our membership group, but one that came to mind for me was Natasha DiCiano. I don't know if you know her, but she takes all the Australian girls through that process to world notoriety.
For Miss
Universe, yeah.
Yeah, she's brilliant, Natasha.
She's brilliant. So she took me on that journey many years ago, and I learnt so much about myself. And that gave me the permission to continue to build my personal brand according to what it is that I wanted others to see me as. So for me, it's a matter of getting coached first up, getting it all down, having someone tell you exactly what is your shape, size, colour, and what depicts you when you look your happiest. So it goes beyond clothes, but it also relates itself then to, well, how do you want your hair to look? What do you when somebody sees you, no matter where they see you, they're going to instantly define you as that elegant person, that sporty person, or however what is it that you want it to be seen at? The natural flow of you. Yeah.
So for me, though, and I've worked a long time in professional services, in marketing and business development roles, working with people that are very highly educated, highly technically skilled, specialists and leaders in their industries. And so for me, I always tackle the idea of a personal brand and a leader brand, really first and foremost around the knowledge that you bring to the table. So the first place I would actually want to work with people, and this is the difference here, we got yin and yang here, because I like to say, well, what is it that you're actually going to be bringing to your brand around thought leadership? What is it that you're going to be bringing in terms of something that's a credible difference? And how are you going to add to our knowledge to make the world better, more efficient, more sustainable, faster, whatever it might be, that actually shows that whatever it is that you end up looking like, that you're the real deal, that there's a lot of substance there, that you are highly credible. So that's where I love working with those uncovered gems and seeing them actually realise that all that investment in their knowledge, in their experience, in their education, in the work that they've done with clients, in their success stories in life, we actually start bringing all that business acumen out, and then they actually start recognising that they do want to have a leader brand and a personal brand so that people can find them and know that they're going to get exceptional service, exceptional advice, exceptional value from actually engaging them in whatever industry or business that they're in, or whatever profession or whatever it is, whatever problem they're solving. That's, to me, the delightful aspect of where that credibility and that knowledge base and the personal brand and the image collide, and you have then a real leader. Over time, doesn't matter how brilliant someone looks, if they actually aren't the real deal and they're not delivering, then people lose trust very quickly. And, we were talking about this earlier on this morning, Jen and I, about, this tendency at the moment in the digital world to actually pronounce yourself as an expert or a leader in something. And if you scratch underneath the surface, that it might be someone fairly new to actually doing a course on something and might not have the experience or the depth of knowledge that really warrants them actually pronouncing that position. Then, you've got to be careful with that. I also want people to understand that it's okay to pronounce yourself as a leader, even if you're emerging and trying to get there, as long as you're not,
leader.
That's right. So it's
that comes back to when we spoke about honesty and transparency.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with emerging leadership. Quite often when women take on roles in a business position, whether it's, like I'm going to start my own business, should I call myself a business owner, a CEO, a founder? What is going to be the best look for me when I'm developing and growing this business? So there's nothing wrong with saying I'm an emerging leader. Can I ask you for some guidance? Can I ask you some help? I don't have all the answers yet. Because in amongst our community of women that are aspiring to take on those roles, we find them the most generous of all of the emerging leaders, are the ones that actually own that space, that say, look, I'm not quite there yet. The ones that we don't have in our community are the ones that are just out there doing it anyway. But we don't find that very sustainable.
Well, let's talk about that. We're not quite there yet. We're talking about personal branding. And sometimes it could be some reluctance to actually brand yourself as a person, thinking that once you've done that, that's set in stone. But how do we work through all those changes in our life, those different stages where I've set myself up, this is who I am, this is my personal brand now, but I know I'm doing all of this, and in 5 years' time, that brand might be a little bit different. How do we move through those changes?
Just as any company does. Organisations go through transformation, they go through rebranding. You think about, some of the most well-known brands have had some refreshes along the way. You can do that as a personal tool. You're never going to be locked in. And in fact, your followers will enjoy that journey too.
So
will enjoy
wait.
seeing
so
it.
Is that your message? Don't wait. Work out who you are, what your brand is, and enjoy the growth.
And share that story. Yeah. Share the story. Also identify, what your value is. We talk about value propositions with companies. There's a value proposition with you as a personal and as a leader brand. So, always thinking about and being true to what it is, that you're being positioned as the value that you bring. So you can think about, we were discussing, who are the great female brands, like women like Ita Buttrose and Janet Holmes-Court, you know, these women are, you know, come to mind as strong brands, yet it's because of what they've actually brought about in terms of industry and thought leadership, you know, a lot of them. But in each of our communities, in each of our own little areas of influence, you know, we can be actually bringing about great changes and innovations by thinking outside the box and bringing that value. So that's what's going to differentiate it, packaging ourselves so that we actually are, you know, showing that leadership and that strong style and the power in the way that we dress and walk and talk, just brings that whole package together. So I think it's really one where it's great to see some women really leading the way in the whole personal branding movement. And it's really exciting to see that this is something that, you know, we're getting over this issue around the tall poppy syndrome.
Oh, I think that's wonderful, and let's support other women in their own brand and what they're hoping to do. So thank you so much, Jennifer Bryant and Lyn Hawkins, Company Directors of Business Women Australia, proud station sponsors, for joining us again on Business Women Australia's radio show.
Thanks, Sally. It's great being here.